for watching on YouTube,
Great.
and we're good to go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm Paulo, and I will be leading meditation today. Start out, I'd like to talk about a little bit why we meditate and how we meditate. These are good things to think about before we get into meditation session. I was thinking a little bit about this world that maybe many of us are living in, or maybe not, but at least for myself, I've been working remotely now for I don't know, probably 2 or 3 years consistently. So, which means, in many ways, it's a wonderful thing because we get to be home and I get to meditate at random points of the day, it's been really nice for myself. But on the other hand, it also means that I'm in front of a screen, even when I'm talking to people and I'm having meetings. It's not, I no longer get to kind of go and interact with people one-on-one. Which also means that I have this distraction called a computer in front of me all the time, or my cell phone all the time. So that's been making me think about, why we meditate and how we choose to meditate. I don't know, a lot of people might have many definitions, but for me, I think at the core of meditation is training my mind to be able to pick and choose what I pay attention to and what I'm able to focus in. And, the more I do that, and the more I read about what online content is meant to do or is designed to do, which is basically steal our attention continuously, right? Like I don't know if it was last year or more recent than that an article came out that literally, places like Facebook or Instagram or TikTok have designed their content to take away your attention and pull you in and get as many hours of your attention in a day as possible, because that makes them money, right? Like that is their mission, is to make more money, which means that they want to, the longer they can capture or collect your attention in their system, the longer they can, monetize your attention, which is, it sounds pretty terrible, but I mean, I get it, like people, they have a job and they want to do something about it. But I remember some years ago during a retreat with Lama Tenzin, he was talking about, somebody asked him, how can I be not outraged when I turn on so-and-so news channel and they're talking about things that are outrageous? And Lama Tenzin told us, hey, it's their job to make you outraged. It's their job to make you feel that way, because that gets you going. That triggers something in your brain that you want to watch more and you're going to keep engaging. But it's not your job to be outraged. It's not your job to react to the content online. It's not your job to let the next article that somebody posted on Facebook take your attention away. There's this Buddhist or Tibetan term called Shenpa, which is just, it's a hook. There's certain things that happen in our environment that hook our attention, that pull our attention in one direction or a different direction, right? And Facebook has become, or whatever social media or online platform we use, they become really good at hooking our attention and even monetizing it. So with all that being said, I think meditation is a tool that allows us to choose whether we want to be hooked or not, right? I mean, sure, even if you have 50 years of meditation in your belt and train really hard, sometimes you're going to get hooked, but at least you're able to pick up on the gaps in your attention, right? When there's a gap from this article to the next article, you choose to go to the next article, or you choose to stay present and say, no, I should go cook lunch, or no, I should go for a walk, or no, I should, stop procrastinating and do my next task, right? So I think it's always been relevant to meditate, but I think it's very important to not just stick to, what meditation was 2,500 years ago in the time of the Buddha. I think we need to bring it to why we meditate today and what our environment is today that would motivate us and make us want to meditate. And so for me, that's it. It's watching my attention being pushed and pulled in all directions by people that have an agenda that might not align with what I want for myself. So meditation is this wonderful tool that teaches us how to bring our attention back, right? So that was kind of the why. Let's talk a little bit about the how. Well, when we sit and choose to pay attention to one object, in this case, it's going to be our breath, right? You feel your breath coming in, coming out, and it's a really nice thing because your breath is part of our bodies. Our bodies are here and now, right? Our bodies are always here and now. Our mind could be in the past, the future, fantasy land, wherever, right? But our bodies are always here, right? And through our breath, we're able to connect to our bodies and to the present moment. So we're choosing to pay attention to our breath. We're choosing to use our breath as our anchor to the present moment, right? And what's going to happen, or what happens, if you've meditated a lot, this, your mind's going to go away, right? It's like, oh man, I gotta go pick up tomatoes and tortillas to make breakfast this morning, or whatever it is that's going on through your mind, right? Or like, oh, Tuesday I got a meeting with so and so and I'm really nervous about it, or like, darn it, I didn't say what I wanted to say last Friday when I talked to so and so, right? So like our minds do this, they're continuously going, and that's normal. There's no reason to panic or freak out that we have thoughts, but what we are practicing is to come back to an object, right? So we continue to come back to the breath. Our mind goes somewhere else, we catch it, we gently touch it, we acknowledge that we had a thought, we bring it back to the breath, right? What does that look like on a daily basis, right? So this is on the map, but how do we translate that to the real world, right? So we've practiced and we've learned how to notice when our attention has like gone away from what we wanted to pay attention to, and we're teaching ourselves to come back, right? So what does that look like when I'm, dead scrolling on Reddit or Instagram or whatever? Well, okay, so I notice that, hey, I actually need to go do something else. I notice a gap. I put the phone down. I put the computer screen down, and you go do what you're supposed to do. Or not supposed to do, but you want to do. It's really it's about choice. It's about free will, right? Like we could react out of our habitual patterns. Even worse, we can react out of habitual patterns that somebody else is triggering on purpose, or we can be present and we can pay attention and we can choose how to react. So in some ways, meditation is our key to free will. It's a key to self-governance in a way, right? It's a key to being able to choose how to react, how to act, which more and more I'm convinced that this is the only real power we have in the world, is power over ourselves. So to me, meditation is my source of freedom. Hopefully you can find something like that for yourself, or maybe it's different. I don't have to be right about it, but it's just interesting to be able to have a choice of what we pay attention to. So I think that's why we meditate. And just from a technical standpoint, as well as paying attention to our breath, I will pause every 10 minutes or so, and I will do a chant, which is Hum. And I invite you to unmute yourself and join me in the Hum. We'll do that for about a minute to 2 minutes. And the Hum meditation is interesting because it's a little bit more dynamic than the breath itself, right? I mean, the breath is dynamic and it's moving and it's happening, but it's a little bit more consistent, right? With the Hum, there's vibrations, there's some effervescence to it that invites us to meditate. It's almost it's like a halfway step to getting off the mat, getting off the cushion and engaging the world. So it's kind of like a nice in between. So I think for some people it feels like a little bit weird to chant, but I really do think that it's an interesting tool to a more dynamic meditation style. So without no further ado, don't know where my meditation bell is, but we'll just imagine I hit one. Ding. We'll start. So connecting with your breath, connecting with your body, allowing to imagine you write the breath into your body, into the present moment, right now. So as you inhale, coming into yourself, into the now. As you exhale, letting go of the past moment, the future moment. As you inhale, noticing if there's some collected tension from the week around your shoulders, around your jawline, your belly. And as you exhale, just relaxing, letting a little bit of that go. I find it useful to, as you exhale, just giving yourself permission to relax a little bit. Sometimes it's even nice to exhale with the mouth open and just let it go a little bit. And as you start to inhabit your body, wiggling back and forth in your seat, finding a nice, even, comfortable position where your sits bones are evenly putting pressure on your cushion and your chair, where your spine, your vertebrae are able to stack one upon each other like they were chips until you get to your cervical spine. You tuck in your chin a little bit, or imagine that there's a string on top of your head so that your cervical spine with the rest of your spine. And it's a little bit more easeful. And they say that energy is able to flow better, but ultimately it's just a more ergonomic position for you to sit for half an hour to 45 minutes. And as you find this position, just feeling supported, even from afar, we come as a group to support each other in our meditation practice. So we support each other, but also we're sitting on planet Earth, and this planet allows us to be here now without judging us, without asking anything from us. You know, Mother Earth, Mother Nature just holds us, lets us live here, protects us, and supports us with food and favorable environment. So feeling that support, it's an effortless support that's always there for us. And maybe through that support and feeling held by Earth, we're able to relax a little bit more. We're able to let go of the anxiety of the future, or it bugs us down from the past, and just allow ourselves to be here now. We're just riding the breath. Maybe you've noticed your thoughts have run astray in one direction or another. That's all right. Just noticing, touching it gently, allowing your attention to come back to the present moment, to your breath. Maybe you notice it happens every 3 seconds. It's okay too. Don't fight the thought. Don't try to suppress it. Just acknowledge it. Don't chase after it. Just allow your attention to come back to your breath. Reminding ourselves to come back to the present moment, not beating ourselves up over getting distracted. We have minds, we have thoughts, and therefore we can meditate. So there's nothing wrong with having thoughts. It's just about training our supple minds and making them more supple so that we can choose what to pay attention to. And then choosing to pay attention to the breath here and now. And inviting some curiosity around what feels that in your body, the quality of your mind. Maybe the answer is exactly the same. And I think, allowing a new style of meditation, or maybe it's not a new style for you, but just allowing freshness of an experience, regardless of whether it's a brand new or old experience, just allowing yourself to notice and be curious about what's going on now. Just because I did it last week doesn't mean this week is the same. It's the freshness of the present moment. It's ever new. As that experience subsides, just coming back to Maybe you lost some of the connection in your body. Just finding, it's always okay to realign your spine, to realign your shoulders, to see if there's any excess tension around your shoulders or your jaw, your belly. Inviting the in breath to carve out some space in those areas. And letting the out breath carry away some of that tension as it was evaporating. For those of us who might be newer to meditation, you might be noticing that, oh my God, there's a lot of thoughts going on. I thought I came to meditation to ease the continuous waterfall of thoughts, one after another. I beg to not be deterred. This is normal. That is the state of the mind most of the time. Especially in this day and age, there's just one thought after the next, like a swift river on top of a mountain. But as we meditate more, maybe that swift river turns into a wider, flat line river. And you're starting to notice that there might be a small gap between 10 or 20 thoughts. But then there's a little gap, and there's another 10 thoughts. So we keep meditating. Maybe that slows down. Or maybe it only slows down sometimes. I'm convinced that even for long-term meditators, there's just ebbs and flows to what's going on in our environment. Some days, some weeks, some months, we just might be extra agitated. You might not be able to seem to calm down and spend time on our cushion. And that's okay. You're noticing it. You're doing the effort to meditate. And then just occasionally, maybe some people are luckier than mine, and it's more often. We have the experience of the wide river, the Mississippi River, the Amazon, just coming into the ocean, just allowing for that depth of presence and being in the present time without disturbance. Maybe it's an occasional glimpse. Maybe it's a little bit more stable than that. Here it does happen. So please don't be discouraged from your meditation practice. Keep coming back to it. There is some ease that comes with it. Just be curious. There's no right answers. You're not supposed to feel any particular way. But you should allow yourself to just notice the freshness of a new experience. Coming back to the breath. Noticing that fresh connection between your breath, a new breath, a new inhale in your body. Noticing how the in-breath brings in life. And the exhale ushers out the old, the past. The stale moment that's already gone. Just imagining you're inhaling freshness, aliveness, presentness. And as you exhale, you're letting go of the past that has already been and is gone and has changed. In this way, just little by little allowing yourself to be here with the new, with the present, with the ever changing. Maybe connecting back with the support of Mother Earth allows you to be a little bit more vulnerable, a little bit more able to shed some of your attachment to the past or your aversion to the future, or vice versa. Just allowing yourself to be here now. Acknowledging that Mother Earth holds us in a magnetic field that protects us from all sorts of noxious rays that come from the outside. We're always in this blanket of magnetic field that Earth protects us and holds us so that we may live and be here now. Or maybe the idea that our straight spine, no matter where you're sitting, points directly to the center of Earth. That's how tightly she holds us. If these images are helpful or allow you to have some ease here now, I invite you to take them with you. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to your body. For those of you that either don't have a habit of doing this or haven't been doing this, I invite you to meditate with your eyes open these last few minutes. In our tradition, we meditate with our eyes open because meditation is not meant to be a place to escape from the world. It's meant to be a place to hone in our ability to show up more present, more compassionate, less reactive. So, with that spirit, we open our eyes. We are present here now with the world. Maybe your mind is a little overactive, so you can cast your eyes down 45 degrees. This will soothe your mind ever so slightly. Conversely, maybe your mind feels a little foggy and you're a little sleepy. Turning your eyes upward will bring some level of alertness. You can mix either of these techniques with inviting a refreshing in-breath to wake you up, or an exhale that lets go of some of your anxiety and your hyperactivity. But maybe you just want to let go of technique because you've been doing technique for a long time, many years. You just want to let your eyes rest wherever they rest. And that's okay too. Again, noticing you're distracted, just coming back to your breath. Gently without fighting the distraction. It's not the distraction's fault. It's nobody's fault, really. Just coming back to the present. Remember early on in my meditation experience, somebody told me the difference between a master practitioner or whatever and a new one. It's not how many times they get distracted, but how many times they're able to come back. And I find that really encouraging. There's nothing wrong with being distracted. But we're training to noticing distractions and choosing what to pay attention to. ding, ring my imaginary bell, since I can't seem to find mine. Sometimes it's nice just to let ourselves transition from meditation back to the real world, or samsaric world, if you may. Can't remember what teacher said this, but I read it more than once, where right after meditation, we should treat our minds like a patient that just had brain surgery or has broken their skull, right, with a lot of care. Because this is where we start to integrate our meditation into our real lives, and is able to, so like, instead of just jumping, and you can jump back into whatever you're doing, but just allowing some of that meditation to kind of, I think of it like a river coming into the ocean, and that sweet water and the salt water mixing, just allowing your meditation feel intermingle with your day-to-day life. And maybe even the opposite way, right? Maybe halfway through the day, you're like agitated, and you just breathe a little bit, 5 breaths, and allow yourself to come down. Just meditate for a second. I think these, mixing back and forth the two, regular life, the profane and the sacred, at least from you, I practice. Anyway, I'll dedicate to merit. I think I saw some names coming up. I'll look this up. Classes to blind. So we'll do a short prayer. By this good master flee, one's become a great guru. Lead all beings, everyone, to reach to that very ground. May all beings always have happiness and its success. May all beings always be free of pain and its success. For as long as space of eyes, for as long as time remains, just so long may I be there. Reach all beings pain. And, I do have candles, so I will light a candle. Let it glow. This particular prayer is slipping my mind, Mark. Maybe you can help me out.
May all beings always have happiness and its causes. Oh, sorry, wrong one. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala.
We dedicate our merit to all sentient beings, but in particular today, it's Rick Wilson, Hospice, Betty Anderson, Samaya Winston, Nemo Vaughn, Alyssa Fletcher Bardo, Clea Aspon, Kenny K1 Bardo, Stephen Newen, Catherine S. Rather, Karen S., Sylvia, Orlando, Nathaniel, Emma, Ed, Leah, Anne, Aaron, animals, and all of those that suffer from oppression. And then I invite you to join me in chanting Ah, and as we say the syllable Ah, we imagine that radiating light from ourselves to ourselves, from ourselves to each other here in this practice, to our city, to our country, to our world, to the galaxy, the universe, really wherever your imagination can reach, let your light get there. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Good week.
Thank you, Paulo.
Thank you, Paulo. Very
Thank
good.
you, Paulo.
If I can announce really quick, at the end of the month here, well, first of all, I want to mention Sunday, September 25th, we have our Yeshe Sogil peer practice. And at the end of the month here, we will have our next Sochin Cycles retreat. It is the Avalokiteshvara Sochin part 2. So that information's on our website. And we do have a couple of really exciting events in October. We're going to have Anne's birthday celebration is noon, Sunday, October 9th. We're celebrating her 75th year on this planet in this form. And on October 11th, which is a Tuesday at 7 p.m., we have a free public event. It is Buddhist contemplation for self-other distancing, and it's part of a big event with the Houston Coalition Against Hate, their revolutionary love time of perspective event. So please join us for that. All right, thank you all.
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
You
You
too.
too.
Have a wonderful day.